understand the basic facts, sometimes you have to contemplate for days together, every day, every moment. There is a sunrise in the morning, I experience it. So, what I said, there is a sunrise in the morning. What is the cause of the sunrise? The movement of the sun and the earth. So what I experience, I have to put it logically, in a right logic. But does the sun sets ever? Answer is no. Sun never sets. So now, from the experience, I concluded the sun never rises, sun never sets. And it becomes the principle of the physics that the sun also moves and the earth also moves. How it moves on their axis or on each other or not, that becomes the fundamental principle. So that is why the master says Shruti, Shruti, listening and learning. We are going in an opposite direction. We already have a bad experience of stress, anxiety, duality, conflict, relationship. So if we start from there, then we will enter into science. Oh, manage these problems, the symptoms are managed. We start from the Shruti. Shruti, the word is used for Vedas, Upanishads, teaching of the Upanishads. So, that is why we say Shravan. That is why we say, I don't know about the real self, so let me know it. But that is only the first step. After that, we follow the same reasoning, logic, yukti, which is known as yukti, right reasoning. Same right reasoning I told you. Sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So, but then we already know. What we already know? How the angle is formed? By two lines. We need two lines, minimum. Minimum, or it is two lines, then only we'll have an angle. So that is what Eastern wisdom has. Qualified seeker, sadhan chatushtaya, subject. That is the way we have to understand. Because we don't know about it, that is why. But in science or in geometry, we can understand, oh, this is one line, this is second line, and they intersect, and then it forms an angle, and then you want me to prove it. And then the second step is known as manan, and the third step is nididhyasan, meditation or mindfulness, to remove all the doubts, to have an intellectual conviction and experience. Our master says all the three factors must be met. If one factor out of the three is missing, you cannot realize the real self. You are a beautiful water in the mirage, the cause is sun and sunlight, but the water is not there. But I experience the water. How can you say the water is not there? That is what we normally do in our personal life. I have a pain, I tell you that I experience the pain, but you don't understand. Sometimes people fight with the doctor. I don't want to understand. when this guy, he had rashes on his skin, and he has been totally upset. Why? It is because of the rashes. He feels that he is going to be weaker and weaker. He has 5 or 6 abs, he's 6 foot tall, so he cannot attract the girls. So now you have a wrong reason. So we cannot directly start with your experience, we have to start with the principle. I don't know what will happen. I have time to yet marry, and if these rashes will continue, it will cause lot of problems. He has lot of fears for 2 or 3 days. He had lot of anxiety. After 3 days, the rashes were gone, and he is normal. But again, he will have another problem. So reasoning is required. Only the experience will not work. I see the earth is not moving. Now this is my experience, but the fact is the earth is moving. We are just contemplating on that part. So unless we follow these 3 steps, I don't know, let me know it. I don't understand, let me understand it. I don't experience, let me practice it. So you see the knowledge in the first, clarity in the second, experience in the third. I need to know the clarity, the blueness of the sky, and I come to an understanding that there is no blueness in the sky. Same thing, when I understand clearly 50% of the job is done. No, I am not the stress, I'm not worthy of suffering. So when I'm not worthy of suffering, this should become my experience. So then what I say that because I intellectually understand, but this does not give me an experience. If it gives me an experience, this is a progress. But if it is not, my mind creates lot of doubt, raises lot of unnecessary questions, it means I have not done the contemplation rightly. I have not done the contemplation. So I go back and do the contemplation again and reflection again. That is how the journey helps you to progress and evolve. So we were talking about darshan. I said purpose of a darshan, the direct experience. That is darshan, seeing, knowing, direct experience. When I see the water in the mirrors, I see through the mind and the sense organs. But I have to meet the real self without the help of senses and the mind. That is what the darshan means. Darshan means. As long as this mind and the sense organ and the intellect continue with its past impressions, I will continue to live in ignorance. So we say, intellect asks the question, how it is possible? In deep sleep, your mind is not there, senses are not there. When you wake up, so now we are giving some valid reasoning. So when you wake up, you say, I was totally fresh, I had a sound sleep. But during the sleep, you don't know. When you wake up, in a waking state, you have an experience of calmness and peace. And the cause, definitely you say it is the mind. Oh, no, it is the sleep state. Second reasoning, in a sleep state, mind is absent.
Same in meditation should be.
almost to, but only difference that in sleep we are unconscious, here we have to be conscious. Yes, you're right. That is, if we don't put the right reasoning, it will land up us nowhere. So even in the practice of meditation, if it demands to contemplate and reflect, first contemplate and reflect, get rid of the doubt and go back. It's our common experience. The earth looks stationary. It is not. I see the water in the mirage. It is not. I see the blueness of the sky. It is not. Then I have a pain in the body. When the doctor says, we are giving you some injection. So the pain starts. Doctor has yet to give the injection. So there is a sense of fear. I don't analyze it. Perhaps, the aging, 70 or 80 years old, they have seen their life, they have made their hairs gray and they are still scared. They act like babies. So all these experiences we have through the senses and the mind, and then we have to inquire what problem is there in the mind, and that is what we say. It is the wailing power of the mind. It is the delusion. Do you see the wave? Sometimes I ask that, what is this? Oh, this is the remote. No, this is plastic. The remote is the shape and name in the shape. Name in the form is but in fact, this is the plastic. The plastic is in front of me. But still I say it is remote.
But remote, it's name done by the mind to the object.
Yeah. So and plastic is still there. I can see it, but still I don't say it. Who is she? Oh, she is my wife. I don't feel inside. She is just a woman. So if she is your wife, tell me, is the body that is made up, is her body made up of 5 elements, is your wife? Is the subtle body, which is the mind and I thought, that is your wife? Or the real self is your wife? Tell me which one. And you cannot find any answer. That is a perfect example of a delusion. So intellectually we have to remove this delusion. My master used to say, you have to communicate to yourself through the Eastern wisdom mentally. But you have to continue to keep the social convention outside. You don't go to the wife and say, honey, you are also made up of 5 elements and I'm also made up of 5 elements. Then you are crazy. You are telling me that you don't love me, but whom should I love? 5 elements or mine? Your wife says, this guy has gone mad. We have to use the Eastern wisdom mentally for ourselves. We have to communicate. We have to communicate whatever the social convention. If you say honey, continue to say honey. But when you say honey, you are aware of it. You are aware of it. You are aware what you are saying. I have yet to find out. Your mind communicates to yourself. I have yet to find out who is the honey in this name in the form which is called the wife, whether it is the 5 elements, whether it is the mind, or subtle body, or individual, what we say, or it is the causal body, or it is the real self. We live in delusion all the time. We have to get rid of this delusion. Eastern wisdom, that is why I say Eastern wisdom. Eastern wisdom means, Eastern wisdom is to study yourself. Eastern wisdom is the knowledge of the self. So I study Eastern wisdom to study myself.
So if we, yeah, so by changing the label, all emotion part and senses have to also move.
When I say I love you, do I love the carbohydrate, fat, protein, amino acids, enzyme, hormones, which consist of the body? You have a
No,
bigger smile. Oh my goodness, this is too much. I cannot love that.
So you love the label life.
You love the label, and that label does not exist. So what appears to exist and that does not exist is a delusion. Further, it causes the impurities. Why it causes the impurities? Because now I claim that, forget about carbohydrate. No, I have a need, physical need, sensual need. I forget. Forgetfulness is impurity. And then you go to the subtler level. Subtler level means individual. I thought says that she is honey, she is my, I thought, mind. How to define it, how to understand it. One thing is clear, the physical body is not the honey. Mental body, you cannot have a sensuality, you cannot. Causal body, I don't know. Or is the real self? Is the honey? No, there is only one real self. There cannot be two. So what is this? What is this all? I told you again, I'm warning you, internally, mentally, I have to communicate with these principles. External world, we have to communicate the way others also communicate. Why? So that I can understand. I gave you an example. I understand. I see the remote, but internally I know this is only plastic. Now see what happens to your mind. Will you get into anxiety? Will you react? No. That is your experience. We started with the fundamental principle, Shruti, Yukti, logical, Anubhuti, my experience. Now my experience is totally different. When I labored her as honey, mind went back and brought the impression of sensuality, and then I recalled my friend told me that your wife is very beautiful. Oh, I forget the 5 elements. You see, this is what happens. It is direct perception. That is the real cream of the Eastern wisdom. Direct perception. Name and the form. I went beyond the sense organs and the conceptual. It is a concept. Remote control is a concept. Oh, now I went deeper. That deeper helps us to. That is what the people, Master says, wailing power of the mind, ignorance of the mind, and the impurities. Understand it. You have to sit down. Experience, reasoning, principle. Say, for example, if the teacher does not teach you the principle, then you start your journey that she is my honey, tell me now. So then you start from the impurity of the mind. So then there is no change in my intellect. It is the intellect which creates the misperception. I have to get rid of that intellect.
So, first step of Viragya.
Vairagya will come by itself when we do Viveka.
Viveka. Yeah,
Viveka is, without Viveka, Vairagya will not come. You can't, you just focus on the Viveka, discernment, separation. So I separated the label of you being the honey from the five elements. Now I understand it is just the five elements, along with some mixture of the impurities of the mind and the animal instincts, which causes this sensuality. You have to discern, you have to separate. During meditation also, during everyday life also.
But during meditation, we are working inside with the thoughts.
Continue to work on thoughts, no problem. Because when you reach to the last point, there is nothing to think, and that becomes meditation. So our intellect and the mind is not educated like this, so it deviates to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now I'll just come, I'm going to the restroom. So finished, you go to the restroom and come back. Is there any thought? Is there any need to think? Simple example, common sense. Same common sense has to be applied in meditation. Oh, now I have to think nothing. Thought comes and goes. Now you see the common sense. Thought comes and goes. Where? In the mind. What kind of a thought? Good, bad, high, low. Past experiences in memory. They still come, they still go. What I have to do? I have to do nothing. So when I say I have to do nothing, I don't identify with the thought. Now my contemplation, reflection is clear on the ultimate principle, and I can sit for hours together. But why I'm not able to sit together? Because of the impurities. Let us understand in a little deeper way. You see me and I see you. So there is no other thought. Just see, we know we are friends or seeker or teacher, whatever it is, and thought comes to an end. You are ready to listen, I'm ready to speak, and we start the journey. It is a normal perception. I see your background, so I just asked you that where you are located. Now you told me, and the same way you also see the background. Perception, normal perception, normal knowledge, normal understanding, normal awareness. Clear? That is what happened. No, I'm driving to the office where I have kept the key, so I look at the key. I'm not casual, and I found the key and I drive. Perception. Whether you say perception, whether you say knowledge, whether you say awareness, it's all the same thing. Perception. So if my mind continue to live into that state of perception, I have no problem at all in my life. That common awareness is nothing but awakened state. But mind looks at the girl and mind picks up the thought, she's cute and she's beautiful, I appreciate this is what happened to this young guy. Last week he told me, And then, she is very cute and she's very beautiful. And I communicated to her, and then I invited her for a lunch. But while sitting for a lunch, my mind was running with that sensual thoughts. So it means I am not perceiving normally. My mind has started doing something. What it has started doing? She is cute, she is attractive, I appreciate her. It is a good moment because she agreed to come with me for a lunch. So my mind cooks the story. Why it cooks the story? Because it has likes and dislikes.
But on the background, it's desire to get pleasure.
Yeah. You're right. I'm just breaking up into parts so that you understand it a very subtler layer. First is the normal perception. Second is the sensual perception. That needs to be understood from where the real, the thing. What is the thing? I have just shown you the remote. Normal. So this is a thing, this is an object, and any object. I see the house and the car and any object. During the day, we see it. We take it normally.
But usually process of labeling is automatic and very fast.
Now we convert that thing into a sensual object. So why same remote is converted into a sensual object? Because I like it, because this is very cute, because this will give me a pleasure. Mind cooks the story. Same object thing is there. So we say you have to remember this. Never forget it. What is that? We say that thing is just a thing. We don't have any sensuality. When we add sensuality into that thing, it becomes a sensual object. And that sensual object is called Vishaya. I don't know which master did it. Now we have to understand contemplation reflection. So you said we use two labels to the same object. First time object is normal, so it is a thing. It is a thing. I see that. I go to the store, I see the TV, and okay, so everything is okay. I see everything is common. But now my mind has added likes and or dislikes or attraction or appreciation. Now the same thing has become Vishaya. Who made this thing Vishaya? I. Who made this? My mind. Now understand what do you mean by Vishaya. You will be surprised. You will appreciate the genius of this master. I don't know who did it. Which master? Vishaya means poison. Poisonous.
But it's our way of see the world around, because you see the little building, but you put labels that I will live in this building. It became mine,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Vishaya started.
No. Master says this house is beautiful, this car is beautiful. What is beautiful, you acknowledge, you appreciate. No problem. But if you carry that appreciation and beauty in your mind, and mind starts repeating, this house is beautiful, this house is beautiful. Mind starts running commentary. Subconsciously, this house is beautiful. And you are sitting on a dinner and you say, wife, oh, I have seen that house is so beautiful. Really? What is the purpose of saying it? What the hell you are doing? Your subconscious mind is repeating, and that is why you are expressing? that converts into Vishaya. Otherwise, go. Whatever, whatever is the state. Oh, the wall is white and I like white, finished. But if the mind is like, I like white, I like white. That converts that same object. Problem is, now you see the third step. You have understood. Now understand the third point. That thing did not say me anything. That thing or object did not chase me. I chased them. Why? Because of a constant thought processes in my mind. So the third stage is the mental looping. Mental looping. The mind continues to spin stories, comparison, fantasies, sensuality, depending on the object. Depending on the object or the thing.
Yeah. I make the label and place on the label the feeling of happiness.
So yeah. Who is playing? My mind is playing with it, and I enjoy. Enjoy even the intellectual sensuality. What a crazy guy I am!
Dreaming.
What a crazy guy I am! I told you, intellect. I have to change my intellect. If I don't change the intellect, it will continue to cause the problem. It will pick up one object, it will pick up other object every day. And that is what we have been doing. And then we think, I will sit into meditation, it will become spiritual. No, you will become more sensual if you do not understand it. And that is why, those previous thought, past impressions of the sensuality, you are sitting in meditation and you want emptiness of the mind, but those thoughts are already attacking your mind, and then you have a beautiful vision of a goddess. No, that is not goddess. It is a product of your sensuality. Be logical. No, my energy is going up. No, it is going down. We don't want to be insane in awakening. Have you seen any master who is enlightened is insane?
What?
Have you seen any enlightened master who is mad? No. So that is why mental looping means, continues. If I talk to her, no, I should not. Let me send her the email. Oh, let me send the text. Let me see the response. I have already invited her for a lunch, so she may like me. But I don't know. So this mental looping, this is mental looping. Now we have to examine this mental looping. What is this mental looping? It has bad expectations, negative expectations. Same thing you told me. I'm breaking up into parts. So expectations of seeking the pleasure. What is the greatest blunder we do it? That is what the master says. Greatest blunder. One thing is clear. I'm seeking happiness in an object. Clear? In an object. That object is the sensual object. That is also clear. That object, sensual object, and seeking means that I'm seeking happiness outside. What the mind deep inside creates a feeling, I don't have happiness inside. That is the problem. Problem is not I'm seeking happiness, pleasure from the world, but my mind continues to create a sense of incompleteness within me. in sense of incomplete within me, then my mind goes back, mental looping. That is the biggest problem. So I feel the sense of incompleteness, hence I am seeking happiness outside, either by sensuality, either by possession or power or authority, what, or you see, this is what the contemplation is. I need to contemplate. Mind, hold back. Let me contemplate first. Mind, why you have the repeated thoughts, why you have a mental looping. So now you have an answer. No, I will be happy with this guy or with this car. How long? Is it true happiness? So you break the negative, bad expectations. So I'm just going a little deviation, because to get rid of the bad expectations, we practice Mangalacharan. Because thought pattern, mental looping of seeking sensual pleasure from outside. Here is the Mangalacharan. So we have a Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Let everyone be happy. Now you see, let everyone be happy, right expectation. No, let I be happy. There are other also issues that, so now what happens in the next step, fifth step, the mind becomes dominant factor. We lose the power of viveka. Mind dictates the intellect. The intellect is paralyzed. And when the intellect is paralyzed, then the intellect sings the tune of the same sensuality. I told you the story. Now that guy told me that, after all, she should have texted me. I said, you give me the text, I will send you the text. You see, it seems very logical. But here your intellect is paralyzed. So you think totally in a destructive way. No, the story doesn't stop here. So now your intellect is dictated by the mind. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you see that object or a person, and still it multiplication. We experience the anxiety or reaction or fear or duality and a conflict. Who is responsible for it? I am. But I don't say, no, you are responsible for it. I invited you for a lunch and still, you did not give me a lift. You did not bother about my sensuality. I don't say directly, but this is what I mean. Because you are crazy, so that's why intellect is paralyzed, and then we have either the anxiety or blood pressure shoots up, or we don't sleep or disturb, all kinds of. That is the result. The mind, when the mind dictates, it will cause lot of impurities and upset. Now that continues. Go to the next step. It is being repeated. Mind repeats those thoughts and feeling and emotions. You started the journey that, she is so good, she is appreciative, I like her, and now she did not respond to you, and now you have an anxiety and reaction. Now you are ready to take a revenge. Both types of emotions, the brain is already confused. Same person you said I love you, and same person you say I hate you. then it is a roller coaster. Now roller coaster. I will not talk to anyone. From today I will remain single. So remain single, who says don't remain single? Nobody is chasing you. So some people do that. And they suffer being single. Others being so sensual, they too suffer. Because I'm seeking outside. Seeking outside is not a problem, but I feel the sense of incompleteness, and I feel that outside object or a person or a relationship will remove my incompleteness. Because of that sense of incompleteness, I am suffering from anxiety, duality, conflict, problem, depression, etc. What happens then? Now the mind is spinning, roller coaster is there. What is deposited and accumulated in the mind, that is known as sanskara.
Yeah.
And the sanskara remains in the seed form. They are vasanas. So I continue to think, speak, and act out of the vasanas. My whole life is full of vasana. I am very busy. Really, you are busy? There may be some reason. You reach late and you have appointment. That's okay. But it has become a fashion. I'm very busy. Oh, that is why you are crazy. There is no question of busyness. Your mind is very busy. Mental looping, roller coaster, a sense of hurry and anxiety keeping your mind busy. That is causing the problem. And it started with Vishaya, poison. You depicted, you diluted, you projected that object as a poison, which you feel will give you the pleasure. See that this is what happens. So our master says, no, you have to remove all the misconceptions from the intellect by analyzing, by reflecting, by contemplating. Discernment has to be there. So you intensify the power of discernment. Vairagya is the result. You intensify Vairagya, 6 treasures are the result. Now 80% we have to do intellectually or mentally. I have to think, mind, where are you going? Why you are dictating? Why you are upset? Is there any reason to be upset? You go, dig deep inside, drop this, destroy the roller coaster, mental looping, and you see you are free. So you have a moment of meditative state when you contemplate and reflect. Oh, I'm very clear. Everything is clear. I'm free. A systematic self-inquiry is required to break this cycle with the 9 movement of the mind. Systematic inquiry. What is systematic inquiry? That is what we say. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. Anubhuti means experience. Yukti means right reasoning. Shruti means fundamental principles. Mind is the cause of all the suffering, and mind is the cause of the happiness. I have to contemplate and reflect. At every event, again warning that I have to communicate with these principles to myself. But outside I follow the same convention, social convention. What is going to happen? The mind is so much clear, even if you say honey and you have a smile on your face. Okay, I now mind. I could see the sensuality. That is why you are saying honey. And I can bet you that sensuality will dissolve. That poison will go away. Because now you are aware. So our masters had nothing to control and suppress their desire. They understood it is a sense of incompleteness. It is delusion, it is ignorance. How can I have a sensuality with a combination of carbohydrate, protein, amino acids, enzyme, and some hormones? This is what it is. Can you become sensual with the cheese that you buy from the mall? I have created a label. With the label, I have created a strong delusion. And that will not go by the practice of meditation. That will only go by self-inquiry, systematic inquiry, and the practice. Darshan, that is where we started with the darshan. Not only self-inquiry, so Master says you start with the Mangalacharan. You start with the Mangalacharan. So what you are doing, the mind says, I am seeking the poison. Mangalacharan says, let everyone be happy, including me and she also. So the happiness, so your mind starts dissolving the idea of the incompleteness in you. It may take 1 month, it may take 5 months, that's all. But the mind is going to change. So what is the primary purpose of darshan according to our masters? To see, to reveal the truth. To see remote with the plastic. Mentally, you are aware. You simply become aware. Honey or women with 5 elements. So, honey or wife, you say outside with the 5 elements, you are aware of it. If that does not happen, then only we can check whether I am able to discern, I am able to do the viveka. If I am not able to do the viveka, then there will be no change in behavior and attitude. Otherwise, you'll have a smile on the face. Oh my goodness. You will feel the power of that sensuality sublimates. It becomes a state of happiness within and joy within. What I was searching for in the poison, I already got it within. That understanding is required. I need not to control. I need not to suppress. What are the main causes of our deluded perception according to this tradition? I've already explained you. Sanskara promotion is the last two and starting for the perception. I become aware of, when I see you, let me become aware. Or I see anyone. House is very good. I always dreamed of this house, so I will have this house. Let me go back and check. So the mental looping starts. I have to give a break there and then. It is not then I will reach home at 9 p.m. and then I am already tired. Now I will practice meditation. Nothing is going to happen. No meditation. Meditation will fail. Whether you say it is superimposition, delusion, misinterpretation, misconception, misunderstanding, or any factor that converts the object into a sensual object. Miss Universe is pageant, she is walking. She is what we say, specific. When they walk on the ramp, there is something, I don't forget it. So they are walking on the ramp, and then you have a sensuality. Does the Miss Universe told you to have a sensuality towards me? That is why I'm walking on the ramp? Or it is your mind? So there we need a viveka, contemplation and reflection. We don't do it. Why we don't do it? Because the mind is dictating the intellect by already many impressions. And the mind says you have come here to seek the pleasure. What the hell you are doing, viveka? So it means you are a non-seeker. That is the beauty of this journey. We already understood how to change that perception.
So labeling is not problem. Problem is a mental loop which always continues a process of thinking about.
Or yes, I keep on thinking. So when there's a repeated thinking, that is what the likes and dislikes is.
Yeah.
So don't start thinking in a purely abstract manner. It's very practical. My mind keeps on thinking. My mind creates an image.
So quietness is a normal mode of mind.
Big statement and right statement. When you don't have a mental looping, when you don't have a likes and dislikes, the mind is an instrument. It is meant to perceive. It's a camera. Finished. It reflects the objects to exist at the physical level, at the material level. How simple it is. Car exists to drive. It is an instrument. Phone exists to call and to send a message. Computer is an instrument. But I distort it. And I can bet you 90% of the people who claim they are busy, I understand them, why they are busy. They may have a sensuality towards possession or a girl or anything. They have created a mental looping of seeking something outside to fill completeness, and that is the problem.
Yeah, when people is busy, they don't feel the incompleteness.
Look at it. That needs to be understood clearly. What a wave can do maximum. Behind that wave is not a wave, it is an ocean. You have a television, yes, you have it. Today you see the romantic movie. The TV does not become romantic. You see Titanic, the TV doesn't become wet. You see a horror movie, the TV is not scared. So compare the moment you switch on the TV, switch on. But remember, existence switches on me and I enter into a waking state, my all past impression returns. Which channel to watch? Should I get anxiety? She cheated me or he gave me this. Mental looping starts. I am not aware of it. And then I have accidents every time. What is that accident? That is accident is frustration, duality, conflict, etc.